Hello, everybody. Welcome to our new time slot, Thursday edition of the Rivalry NFC West Talk with me, Joe Stevens, and Ryan at No Border Sports. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, terrific. What's the word? What's been going on with your life?
Um, Other than my storage messing with me, everything's been going all right. Uh,
I
yeah.
hear that. Never had to deal with storage before, but
I had an issue when I was out of work, and
mhm.
the guy called me up. He's like, "Hey, it's not for some reason your card's getting declined." I was like, "Oh, hey, my bad. Let me sell some crypto real quick, and I'll get you your money, right?" So then here I am, got a job, money coming in. I didn't have, I guess, enough money on my certain account at the one point in time, and that didn't work. So they sent me a letter instead of calling me like they did the first time and immediately, talk to me. They sent another letter and another letter, and then they sent a letter to one of my friends. He calls me up. I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Hey, they called me, bro." I said, "What?" So I get on the phone with them, and now I owe them, like $190 for 2 months, and I'm like, bruh. Like, really? So gonna go pay them off and then, stop doing business with them
Yeah,
and get
yeah,
all my stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you knew how to get a hold of me, bruh. Like, just call me. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
That's my thing.
I sent you an email. I don't look at my emails. Like,
Me
you knew my
neither.
phone number worked. You called me specifically, sir. You called
Yeah,
me
rough life.
specifically.
Rough life dealing with storage. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, man. How about them 49ers? Any groundbreaking news, discoveries, anything exciting?
Um, we had the state of the franchise uh I guess you call meeting or show or whatever. They kind of just Greg Papa, that trash of a announcer, just like interviews people from the team slash front office, and like the first 20 minutes was just nails on a chalkboard,
Mm-hmm.
with Greg Papa trying to sound like he's smart, and then this other guy Guido just like blowing wind up our ass about things when and then at one point, they start talking about the offensive line. This was hilarious. Start talking about the offensive line, and they're like, "Oh yeah," and you got Brendel and Banks and what's his name, Burford. You know what I mean? And then you've got Trent Williams and McKivitz, and that's all locked up. And it's like, wait, what? McKivitz are we're just gonna buzz past McKivitz like it's 100% grade A beef, and we good
Yeah.
already. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a wishy washy, like, I don't know.
Well,
I
they
did.
are the flagship station of the 49ers, right? Like that's who calls the games and stuff.
Well, it's Greg Papa. He's on the payroll. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
the
that's
yeah. The only thing I did like is that you got to hear from coaches and players about how special the faithful are, and it was honest. You know what I mean?
mhm.
It was honest shit. You could tell when people are just trying to say stuff to kind of check the boxes and make sure they don't offend anybody. And this was, like Chris Forrester, our offensive line coach, he wanted to they were running late and he was getting told to wrap it up. And he's like, I don't care if I got to wrap it up. I just want to say this one thing. And so he just pretty much said it. And that was thing was echoed is that how the faithful show up at home and away. I mean, like for the Rams to have to go to a silent count at home is just crazy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So we've got so many different, houses that we dominate in throughout the league. Like, SoFi, and then like even Mexico City. We dominated Mexico City. I don't know if you've seen that. It was us against the Cardinals, and it was like I'd say 90% straight up Niners fans, not NFL fans, but Niners fans, bro. You know what I mean? Uh,
Well, yeah. Yeah, they should the Cowboys 49ers in Mexico City. That would
Yes.
that would have been like a 50-50, like
Yes.
because it seems like everybody from Mexico is honestly either a Cowboys or a 49ers fan. I'm like I said, I go to most.
Raiders. You forget about Raiders.
I do forget about that. But
and all San Diego Chargers. They kind of, San Diego Chargers. It's real close to the border there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not a
you're
lot
right.
of them, but there's some. But it's pretty much Raiders, 49ers, and Cowboys.
It just seems like whenever, like I said, I go to all the games and like just looking at the diversity of the population of the fans, there's a huge Hispanic 49ers following.
Yes.
Like, I mean, giant. So,
you know how
cool.
proud I am to have them in our community.
Yeah,
like to me,
cool.
it's awesome. You know what I mean? To have people from all different walks of life. That's why we've got a guy. What's his name? Alfredo Gutierrez. And he's on the team, and he's one of those international players, and he's from Mexico. And when he got on the team, I was so happy and so elated because I was like, finally, there's a guy on our team that comes from a country that a lot of our fans come from or are in, and or descendants of. And to me, that's something I like. You know what I mean? I want people to be able to look at their team and find somebody that looks like them on it and have their hero. It's like kind of like Marvel. Like every kid should have a superhero. I think it's true. I think every kid should have a superhero that looks like them. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's true. Like with any kid, not even like us as fans, right? But especially kids fans, right? Like the fact that, like, I thought it was cool the Seahawks have a Cambodian running back, right? An Asian running back. And it's like, because I mean, honestly, like, how many Asians do you see out there on the field? I mean, close to none, right? So there's going to be that group of kids that are like
a kicker.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? But young Hoku. But you can go, a lot of those Asian kids can go, okay, he's doing that. Why can't
Right.
can't I? And that's what I
And
think is
especially
awesome.
in Seattle. You know what I mean? There's
a giant. Yes.
Well, for people that don't know, Seattle is like the gateway port for Asia.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Well, I'd say for Japan.
Let's just say for Japan.
Sorry. So Seattle's, kind of got, an attachment essentially with Japan. That was also made even more so when Ichiro Suzuki came over to the Mariners. Shout out to Ichiro. I think he's probably the greatest baseball player of all time.
Don't get me started with Ichiro.
I'm just saying. If he had been playing in the MLB the whole time, I have a feeling he would be the best MLB player ever, hands down. He might not have the long ball. That guy could put the ball wherever he wants. That's
what was cool about
uncanny.
him.
Yeah.
And he had a couple home runs every year, I think.
Bro, and that itty bitty guy had a cannon for an arm. Itty bitty guy.
Yeah, right field to home.
Holy God. Holy God. I don't even like baseball. But I mean, like, Ichiro is just in a league of his own, kind of. You know what I mean? Like, if I was putting together a team, I'd want a guy like Ichiro who can be my leadoff batter, get on base. You know what I mean? If you catch him in any other part of the cycle, if anybody else is on base or close in scoring position, he's probably going to get them in. You know what I'm saying? It's just nasty when he comes up in the mid rotation.
See, that was a problem. Is you want that guy to be the part of your baseball team, a part of your baseball team, a huge part. He was the Mariners for 10 years.
Yeah,
I mean, there was nothing around him, and it was just
Anyway,
sorry.
No, you're good. I brought it upon ourselves.
What's the deal with the bird hunt is happening? What does Brian mean here?
I don't know, but I know there's a stretch where we have to play 5 bird teams in a row.
I knew that. Yeah. Yeah, I did know that. Yeah. I don't get all into that mascot shit as much as like, we have to play 5 bird teams in a row, a bunch of cat teams, I kind of just look at the team for who they are. How are you? How are you about that? Does it create a psychological advantage for the Seahawks that you have to pick 5 teams that mascots are birds?
Well, out of 5 of them, only one of them is one that I don't think could be a problem.
Which one?
The Cardinals.
Oh, they're in that stretch.
Yeah. Other than that, we got the Eagles, I believe you twice, and the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah. So
like I said,
that's a hell of a run right there. That's a hell of a run. And you still can't mail it in on the Cardinals game. You know what I mean? You still can't mail it in.
You can't mail it in on any team against the NFL,
No.
But if there was one team that I'd feel comfortable sweeping this year in the division, it will be the Cardinals.
I feel so. More so than the Rams. The Rams, I feel, are going to be. I don't think they're going to be as good as you were last year. Your team was last year.
Oh, I think they're going to be a 6-7-1 team.
Yeah. Which they should probably just try and tank because it would be better for them. But they've got this pride thing that not going to help them at all.
No, and obviously the players want to go out there every Sunday and win. The coaches want to go out there every Sunday and win, but it's like that roster. I'm just not, other than Aaron Donald.
This is the thing. Like, they found that they weren't able to draft very well. So they just started giving away their draft capital to get in trades, right? So now to fix that situation and how you got there, now you've got the same GM and now you're drafting again?
Yeah, which is weird. Like you said, I was going to bring that up earlier. They've never been able to hit on anything. I mean, Aaron Donald. Name another. Cooper Kupp in the 5th round or 4th round.
But that's just law of probability. You take that many shots, you should at least hit on a couple here and there.
But that's it. I mean? That's it.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. And their whole strategy is, let's go back to that, which got us to throw that out the window in the first place, to do a new strategy to what got us where we are here now, to then go back to the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know. That strategy just pisses me off.
You didn't change your GM. You got the same guy in there who is not good at picking talent. It makes no sense to me. That doesn't mean they might do better. Maybe they got better scouting. Maybe they've done something different. I don't know. But right now, on paper, I don't see much changing, No,
I
Brian.
don't either. I just don't. I don't feel like they've done anything to scare me, and they didn't scare me last year. Jake Profile. Yeah, that's a stretch, Brian.
No, shame.
That's minus 100 points for Bryant there, and I'm a homer. I love the Seahawks, but if he makes the roster, it'll be cool if he makes the roster. I saw Mike drop, and I almost said rapper.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he did stand out in training camp or OTAs and mini camp. They were saying that. Can you believe we're 6 freaking weeks away from training camp? It feels like so long.
I don't care. I want the season.
Me too. But I'm ready for Hard Knocks to be on HBO. I'm just ready to see something.
You want to hear something that I found out today?
Was it that Dan Campbell declined Hard Knocks?
No.
Okay, go ahead then. Sorry.
Oh, we got Beto in the house. What up, Beto?
What's up, Beto?
You don't know about Niner Sickness, make sure to go check him out. So today, Steve Wilkes, my new defensive coordinator, was talking. And he was talking about how he came in. His first time he's been there was during phase 1, right? And he says he comes in and he's taken aback or blown away, whatever. Essentially, you get the gist about how much of a pro all the players were. He says you come into phase 1 and they're treating it like it's their job. You know what I mean? It's like it's in the middle of the season. You're treating it with the same respect. And he was blown aback by that. And he said, you get to phase 2, same thing. He's like, all these guys out here, and he's been in lots of programs and he's never seen anything like this. So to me, one thing I thought was, well, he's now made a note, and he knows if he ever gets a head coaching position and ever again, this is how he's going to run shit. But then the other thing I thought is he's been around the league a lot. No one's doing this, and they don't have players like this. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why we're so competitive is because it's who we draft. It's not necessarily their skills. It's their personality. They look to see what skill they have, and then they're just checking about the personality. If they can learn, if they're excited, if they'll work hard. And then that's after that, everything, because they have it in their mind. We can train people, except for quarterbacks. We can train people to do what we need them to do. We're just making sure we got okay. This is another thing I heard. I don't know if I told you this, but Gary V, the entrepreneur guy, right? A lot of here, and guess who the coach is? Gary V is a big Jets fan. So I don't think he the problem to be talking, right?
Sorry, Ryan, you're breaking up really bad.
Yeah.
I think now, of course, now you're. I think you might have to restart your connection.
Yeah. All right.
What's that?
For a second?
Yeah. I'll wait a second.
All right, be back.
All right. While Ryan's doing that, if there's anybody in the chat that has any questions or about the Seahawks or about the NFL in general, more than welcome to answer those. Brian says he will outperform DK Metcalf. Yeah, I highly doubt that, unless DK is on IR, which, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. He hasn't had any injuries since. Obviously, Brian's talking about his boy Jake Bobo out of UCLA, but Pete Carroll did talk about how impressed he was with Jake Bobo, and not just Pete, just everybody around. They were like the media that was allowed inside minicamp was talking about how great Jake Bobo was. Some other notable names from minicamp / OTAs would be obviously Geno stood out really well. On the opposite end, Drew Lock did not stand out at all. I guess when he went out there, the offense kind of fell flat. He was throwing interceptions, and just they weren't running at the same tempo as it was with Geno. How many touchdowns to interceptions will Geno have? I'm thinking about, I think between 25 and 30 touchdowns, between 8 and 12 interceptions in 2023. Did we get you back?
Well, I'm on my phone right now waiting for the Wi-Fi to click back on.
Okay. You were talking about Gary V.
Gary V. So Gary V, I'm pretty sure he was talking to Robert Saleh,
and the head coach that he was talking told him that he was going to pick they could have picked a guy who was higher on their board where they were picking, but they decided to pick a guy who was lower on their board, and Gary Vee didn't understand why. And and the coach told him, this guy who's higher on the board, he says he'll go out Saturday night and he'll stay up till like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. And Gary Vee's like, oh, shit the bed the next day. He said, no, the guy will have an amazing game. He will, go off and just be a beast. He said the problem is he's going to take 6 of his teammates out drinking with him, and they're going to shit the bed. He said the other guy that we drafted, he's the 7th guy, and he's going to stop the other 6 guys from going out. And I think he was talking to Robert Saleh, and I think Robert Saleh learned that from the 49ers. He saw, this is how you build a team. You get a whole bunch of people with the like mindset of wanting to be generationally great and who have extremely good work ethic, and then you put them together on a team, and that's how you hopefully can win a championship.
See, and that's the thing with the Seahawks is I think we have, like you said, for a long time, very like-minded individuals. They just have personalities, right? But one thing in common is they all had that will to win. They were all dogs, like even at practice, just competing at practice like it's a game, right? Like it's a regular season playoff game. And yeah, it's just, I think you need that. You need somebody with a competitive nature, somebody that's going to uplift everybody. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hold on a sec.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, sweet. He's back.
It's like I never left.
Exactly. Yeah, anything else going on in 49er land other than everything's positive, everything's peachy, nothing crazy.
No drama.
That's kind of our deal right now. There's really there's nobody holding out for a contract. Obviously, Bosa did a hold in with you guys. Have you heard any word that they got any closer on a contract or anything like that?
No, but we know how it goes. So a couple of days before training camp, they're going to come out with the deal, and he's going to show up to training camp, and there we go. Shout out to Amin the Dream.
Sup, Amin? Just, you guys remember, like I said, if we got any questions, comments, anything in the chat, just feel free to write it down there. You said Amin's a kid, right? I think I remember that.
I guess you could say he's a budding young man. I would put it. He's 14 on the way to 15, I think, if not already 15. I don't remember when his birthday is, but he's on his way. I mean, I used to think that Raj from our San Francisco 49ers had the best hair. Bro, you were killing the game. I even had to tell Raj, because he was like, bro, I was voted best hair in my high school, right? And I was like, yeah, no, I get it. I see it. And then I seen you the other day, and he's got like hella luscious hair. And it's all, black and satiny looking. And I was like, bro, Raj, Amin got you beat. And he's like, oh, man. He's like, he can have the title. He can have the title. So, Amin.
Speaking of budding young men, budding young stars, we have Lil Spongy official in the house.
Lil Sponge.
I did see a statistic. Have you seen Fun with Dick and Jane?
Yes.
I saw a statistic today, Sponge, and I should have screenshotted it. And now I'm going to scramble to find it that I wanted to share with you.
Oh.
Because it was pretty awesome. All right. Well, of course I can't find it now. It's the records of NFC teams from the past 3 seasons, and the Seahawks are 28-22, and the Eagles are 27-21-1. So how about that, Sponge?
Yeah, Spongy, you suck.
Yes, Spongy. Ryan, what happened to the beard?
I had to cut it off. Work issues. It's all good though. You know how happy I am right now with it getting so hot that I don't have this beard just like sitting on my face, insulating hot air close to it.
I don't know.
Oh, it's amazing in the winter, bro. It's that beard is amazing in the winter, but in the summer,
I got my facial hair like this long one time. I was like, no, I can never do this. It's so bad.
it's because it grows. That's the growing is the itching. If you use beard oil, it totally chills that out. It totally chills it out.
Will not do it. I will shave it off. Yeah, we had I don't know if you heard while you were transitioning between phone and computer phone. The Drew Lock still looks like shit, I guess.
Is anybody really expecting him to like turn over said new leaf?
I'm not. I guess he was throwing lots of interceptions. And
you got the best out of Geno. Lightning doesn't strike twice, bro.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Sorry, I got a wife babysitting. Sorry about that.
You're good. Life happens.
But yeah, I'm not expecting much out of Drew Lock. I guess another guy that was concerning is our new center from the Lions, Evan Brown. I didn't really see why it was concerning. I didn't read all up on it, to be completely honest. But yeah, I guess he didn't look too great, which, like I said, at OTA is how is an offensive lineman not looking great. Hopefully he can fix that footwork. I guess, obviously, Witherspoon looked awesome. They played him a little bit at nickel. And Michael Jackson looked, I guess he was like the MVP of minicamp / OTAs.
I hope Witherspoon really does everything that he should do for your team, because when they went high on cornerback, I was like, why? It's like it seems like you get so much good production out of guys who you find almost off the street. You know what I mean? And to me, I would have spent the capital somewhere else, like defensive, offensive line. You know what I mean? Like,
well, if he's the real deal, you'll see why it was worth it, right?
That's what I'm saying. It better, but your scheme does pretty well. So I think the only way you're able to really see that if he's able to like not only shut people down, but get interceptions, turnovers.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So if we have Woolen shutting it down on one side and then Witherspoon shutting it down on the other side, that makes the safety's job so much easier, right? Especially with a cover three. With a cover three, right? It was always Sherman covered the left side of the field, Earl covered the right side of the field along with that cornerback. And then especially with these tight ends, we always had a problem with tight ends. Always. I don't care what you say. I get you guys had Vernon Davis and Cam Chancellor shut down Vernon Davis, but like Greg Olsen and like random tight ends throughout the NFL, the Legion of Boom always had problems with. And I don't blame the players with that. I did at the time, but seeing it year in and year out, it's a scheme issue.
It's a scheme,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can only blame the players for 2-3 years, and then the new players come and you're still having the same issues, right? And so, yeah, hopefully that'll sure up the whole defensive backfield. I'm not worried about our defensive backs at all. I'm worried about our run game, a defensive run game, obviously. And we'll just have to see. It'll help having an all-pro linebacker like Bobby. And because not just the physical, right, but he can kind of be a mentor at this point, right? So,
Yeah. Well, that should be the big thing you're trying to get from him,
mhm.
because you don't know how much longer he could be at the top of his game.
I think he's, and this isn't being a homer, because I'll call him out when I think they're past their prime. I don't think he's past his prime.
It could happen this year or next year where it starts to decline. It seems to me like it's kind of already started. It just started extremely slow. That's what I have seen.
Yeah, and that's how I noticed it in Seattle as well. It's like he's not the Bobby Wagner of 2015, 2016 anymore, but he's also not Cody Barton. He's not Tanner Muse. He's not John Radigan. He is still a Pro Bowl type player. Second team All Pro is what I'd say in the league, because I can't, other than Warner, I can't really think of a Mike linebacker that I would rather have on my roster than Bobby, at least for one season. So,
Amin asked, "What's our thoughts on Baby Gronk situation? Is there a situation? I haven't.
Are you talking about with the LSU gymnast? Is that what situation we're talking about?
What happened?
I guess Baby Gronk was taking photos with the LSU gymnast.
Yeah, whatever her name is.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just learned of Baby Gronk a couple days ago. I don't know how.
I've been seeing him for the past month, and to me, we've seen a lot of kids who look like they were going to be remarkable adults. You know what I mean? Like there was one with this kid looked like he was going to be the Arnold Schwarzenegger of adults. You know what I mean? Never heard of that guy ever since then. You know what I mean? Baby Gronk's out here with this necklace on. To me, he doesn't look fast. He does. He looks strong.
Bro, this kid's like what, 10 years old, 11 years old?
Yeah.
It's all his dad, right? I think his dad's just telling him what to do and what to say.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel bad for the kid.
I don't even know what he's saying. I just saw like these workouts and I was like, okay, but he looks sluggish. You know what I mean? Yeah, he could do that, but he's not like
10 years old. I don't know. I don't know why he's famous.
I was coaching flag football. There's kids that are a lot faster than him. And it's not like he all of a sudden, grows 2 feet and becomes faster. You know what I'm saying? Like I was never the fastest kid in my school. It was always the kids with the short legs. He looks like he's got short legs and he's still slow. What's going on? You know what I mean? Like I don't get it.
I just don't know why this kid's famous.
Now that you said it, it's probably his father telling what to say and do. It's probably true, and that's extremely sad because his dad's trying to live through him.
Exactly. And I've seen parents like that too growing up.
Yeah.
And usually the kid's not the best. Like, I'm not being an ass, but usually the kid kind of sucks when the parents are trying to live through them. I've learned that always when I was a kid, especially a young kid, my dad never lived his life through me, right? And I always performed the best. Like I was,
Right. You were you. You did, what was good for you. You had a blast. And your dad was happy to watch you do that. You know what I'm saying?
Obviously, if I was being an ass or whatever, he'd put me in my place. If I was acting like Baby Gronk, my dad would put me in my place. But yeah.
So my daughter's just like me, right? So when she gets older, I'm going to introduce her to certain sports that I always wanted to do as a kid. Like I think she probably would love something like pole vaulting because you get to run, which she loves to run. And then you get a stick that you can shove in the ground and then catapult yourself up in the air. And I'm sure she would just love that. So it's something I'm going to introduce her to. If she doesn't like it, she doesn't have to do it. You know what I mean? I just know that was something I thought was amazing when I was a kid. And I want to make sure she can get her hands on it to see if she thinks it's amazing. And if she, likes it and she wants to do it, well, guess what? You're going to get to do that. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm going to live through you. I just know because she's just like me. So I'm like, this is the thing she needs. I will get her into Brazilian jiu-jitsu though, whether she likes it or not, because she needs to learn how to defend herself. You know what I mean? And I'm sure she'll like tapping boys out because she's strong too.
That's the thing with kids, right? Is once they lose interest in something, you can't force them to do something they don't want to do, right? And I don't know if Baby Gronk is. I know we're on kind of a different topic right now, but yeah, you just can't. You can't force kids to do something what they don't want to do, and you can't live your life through your kid.
What are you teaching him to be like from 10 on at this point? You're teaching him how to be a douchebag.
Yeah, exactly.
Like normally that happens in the 20s. You know what I'm saying? This kid started it in his 10s.
Well, so usually it happens about when you can start driving, at least.
Yeah, but I mean the real douchebag stuff comes like at the bars when you're, you know what I mean? Like the real douchebags. And it's like, it seems like he's already there. His dad's teaching him how to be like that.
Yeah, he's wearing Affliction t-shirts and rock revivals.
Yeah. No, he looks like, oh God, he totally looks like he watched UFC during the mid 2000s.
Yeah, huge Chuck Liddell guy.
Yeah.
Probably just not Baby Iceman.
Which I did too. I watched a lot of UFC in that time.
I love Chuck Liddell. I thought he was such a badass.
I never had an Affliction shirt, but I did have a gold tap out shirt. Like it was black with gold things. So I just want to be completely honest. So you know what I mean? Like can't just throw can't throw other people under the bus without throwing myself under it too.
Yeah, I wore fancy pants for a long time.
I never did. I did. Never. You talk about the ones with the cute shit on the back. No, never.
I did. That was me.
Never.
But yeah. Yeah, I heard of Baby Gronk. I think
glitter.
What?
Rhinestones and glitter?
No glitter.
Fuck.
But just some what do you call it? Buttons. I heard about Baby Gronk from the Pat McAfee show, I think is where I heard it.
I've seen it before that, but yeah.
Oh, see, that's where Baby Gronk is new to me. I mean, so which quarterback would you rather have for the next 5 years, Geno or Dak? Next 5 years, hopefully neither. If I'm committing 5 years on one, I'm gonna have to go Dak because he's younger.
Not just that, I seen a stat or something where he had like, what was it? Can't remember what the stat was, but it was like touchdowns to sacks to something else, and he was one of the best in the league at that. So I guess if you're gonna pick a guy for 5 years, I would want somebody who's younger.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Who's had more years of consistency. But who knows? This could be a coin flip. Geno could come on and into his zone for another 5 years. That's not.
I guess from minicamp or OTAs, I did not want to bring this up, but I guess he's in the best shape of his life.
Yeah, well,
you hear that about everybody every
year. Trey's in the best shape of his life now too, bro. People talk about this Jared Allen maybe even making the team. You know what I'm saying? You know, Jared Allen is, this guy's already 30 years old. And like,
no, I have no idea who that is.
Or is it Brandon Allen? I don't know. We got a guy named Allen. He's a quarterback. I can't remember.
Okay. When you said Jared Allen, I was thinking Vikings. Bears,
this guy had like no incompletions for like the first 3 days of OTAs, I think.
So he's a badass.
But he's throwing to the third stringers, and it's fucking OTAs, no pants. So I
think this guy's gonna be your next QB1.
Bro, essentially anybody could do it except for Trey Lance. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh God, and
Blaine Gabbert, I think.
I was about to get into it on Twitter this morning because these people are going back and forth about how all these other quarterbacks could run the system, but Trey can't. And it's like, wait, Trey's running a different offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, what offense do you see the same?
Quarterback draw. That's how he broke his leg or whatever against the Seahawks. And you know what? It was goddamn effective against the worst rushing defense in the NFL. It was against us. That drive and a half that he played. I was
But
like, I don't know how we're going to stop this guy.
well, and he shouldn't run like that. He's not like a runner like that. Trey, he's mobile to the point where he can move out of the pocket and avoid danger.
Yeah,
And
he's not Lamar Jackson.
no,
Yeah.
he's kind of slow when he's out there, but he can pick up a first down if you need to. And, everybody's all, scrambling down the field trying to cover people. He can pick you up a first down, but he's not gonna murder you like Lamar Jackson could, or like Kaepernick could. Kaepernick could take 3 strides and be down the field 10 yards.
Man, that
Like-
was so scary. Big shout out to David McNiner. I have not seen that photo, or I guess I did from a DM that we were all a group message, I guess. And you look good in that tux, buddy.
Bro, the shirtless or the sleeveless tux is amazing. Like, he knocked it out of the park. Yes.
Yeah, that's how I feel about any quarterback, really.
So this is the other thing too. He's got a little bit of issue with his pocket. I guess that's what they're trying to say, is he can't run the offense because he's not as good from the pocket. Okay. All right. Okay. One of the reasons is he hasn't had a lot of reps in the pocket passing. Okay. All right. He doesn't have those. So when he's in and you have him passing on first and second down, have him do it from the pocket, because the defense not expecting you to be passing. They're expecting you to run. On third down, when they're expecting you to run and he's not good in the pocket yet at passing, bootleg him out. That's his bread and butter at San Diego, or not San Diego, but South Dakota. North Dakota State. NDSU. North Dakota State University. Yes. So why not lean towards his strengths on the times where it's not only more crucial for your team, third down situations, you know what I mean? You got to get the third down or you're off the field, and you put it in his wheelhouse. But yet on first and second down, he gets experience making completions or seeing things when he's got the best situation around him.
You know what I'd do too if I was the 49ers? Play him in the preseason. But every game in the preseason. I mean, at least, if not a quarter, a half. You don't like
that? Yes, because of the reason why he wasn't able to play that first year is because they put him behind the second offensive line, and the guy got pushed back in his lap, I think it was, and when he went to release, he hurt his finger on somebody's helmet. And so it's like you put him
the Russell Wilson.
Yeah, you put him behind a shitty line, you got a chance for that to happen again. And then look at where we are.
Yeah.
Oh, Trey can't stay healthy. No, why can't he stay healthy? Because you can't fucking keep him behind the first line. I don't know. I guess you'd have to. Because there's no other way for him to see what he wants. And like, I'm just so annoyed that we're about ready to trade Trey away for a guy we've seen with 8 starts, and we're, wanting to crown him king. And we've been through this before with Jimmy Garoppolo. So, yeah, Trey is not like Kinlaw. Yeah. It's totally,
it seems a lot like Kinlaw.
Oh, no, he's not. Kinlaw had issues before he even got drafted. Kinlaw has arthritis of the knees. Never goes away. Okay? It's totally 2 different things. Kinlaw can go out and just do his regular duties, not have anybody fall into his knee or anything like that, and still be sidelined by just doing his regular duties because of arthritis in his knee. or him not having bursa is great. Or there might be a lot of we don't actually know what's wrong with Kinlaw's knee, but it seems to me like there's more than one thing, because they're always fixing something and then something else all of a sudden flares up again. You know what I mean? And it's something else is fixed. But yeah, they are not the same. It's not the same situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't believe we're 6 weeks away from training camp.
Tell me how Kinlaw got hurt being misused. I'll wait.
Ben Gay and Copper fit. And
You know what? My student athletic trainer told me one time, he's like, see that? I was like, yeah. He's pointing at the Flexol 454 bottle. He's like, that's like a placebo. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it does a little bit, but it's really not doing much. When it comes down to it, it's not. So plus, it's more of a mental thing to make you think that something's actually doing something.
And Brett Favre was a Copper Fit guy. Can't be endorsing Copper Fit anymore.
Bro. Copper, man.
Speaking of which, we do have a sponsor for today's video. We have Renob's Hardwood Wax and Shine. Make your hardwood last longer. Are your floors looking dull and lifeless? Are you ready to make your hardwood floors new again? Are you wanting that beautiful wood floor look? Then give them a call anytime for an estimate. I tried Renob's for the first time on my hardwood, and I really thought that I couldn't do anything. I thought I was going to have to replace it. But next thing you know, my wood floor is looking brand new, and no thoughts on replacing it.
How does the missus like it?
Oh, she loves it. I mean, like I said, we were thinking about getting new wood floors. And then we tried that Renob's Hardwood Wax and Shine, and boy, they're looking spiffy. I think we can get another couple years out of these ones. So, yeah,
that's
there's
right.
That. Thank you for today's sponsor, by the way. We really do appreciate it. Yeah. I just can't wait for the football season. I really can't. This June pisses me off so much because baseball sucks. And we have 6 weeks till training camp. So, yeah.
Yeah. I know. It's going to be the dark period for at least 2 weeks, I'm sure. And then stuff will start coming out. You know what I mean? Because I have a feeling a lot of the players and such go on vacations starting now. Mm-hmm. So there's really no news to have because nobody's back around anywhere where people are, essentially. You know what I mean? That know them because they're out in the, around the equator. So. Yeah, they're around the equator somewhere. And yeah.
Did you see that Russell Wilson was at the NBA Finals when the Nuggets won? He tried to give Jamal Murray a high five, and Jamal Murray just kind of, left him hanging there. He high-fived the two people next to him and not Russell Wilson.
Oh, my God.
Kinlaw didn't get hurt because of his knee arthritis. Did Trey get hurt outside the numbers?
Trey got hurt a couple different places. He's talking about when he tried to run in the touchdown against, who was it? Arizona?
See, I'm talking about against us. I could have swore it was like a quarterback draw when he got
he got hit between the linemen, and that's what took him out. Yeah, the second surgery was why, Steve-O? Oh, that was because of the surgery itself. They didn't get the screw in there close enough, so they had to take it out. So that's not Trey's fault. Kinlaw, they went in there. We have no idea what happened with Kinlaw. That's what I'm saying. Kinlaw, they're not talking about Kinlaw because they screwed up by getting Kinlaw. And they know that. That's why they're not talking about what's going on in his knee. They can explain what happened with Trey's injuries because they have no accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they they do and they don't, but they're, you know what I mean? Like, Kinlaw's issues all stem from before he was even drafted on the 49ers. Can you explain how that's the same?
Wasn't Trey Lance injury prone in college though?
He played 1 year.
That's what
and
I mean.
He started every game.
That 1 year though, right? Was he hurt the other 3?
No, he didn't play 3 years. Well, so he was what? He played, I think he played in 1 or 2 games in his freshman year. He was supposed to sit the whole time, but there's something happened where he had to come in at certain times, right? And then his sophomore year, he started every game. They went to the championship, didn't throw an interception. And then his junior year, he plays 1 game, throws 1 interception, and runs a whole bunch. And he just shuts it down. He's like, I'm done.
What?
Yeah. What happened? They were switching their schedule around or something. So they played one game when the regular season was supposed to be played. And then they played the rest of the season later on that year. And I believe Trey was done and he was going for the draft because that was COVID.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah. So it's really okay.
I did hear the same thing, Steve-O. I did hear that the Earth was a donut.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, right? It's gonna be really interesting. And I'm sure talks will ramp up towards probably about August, right? When especially about the quarterback situation. Because when can Purdy practice?
We don't know.
No idea.
No, there's nothing official yet. So it could happen as early as late August or early September.
But then he's so far behind everybody already.
Yeah. But at the same time, he might be able to. I don't know. We don't know. There's only been 2 people in the league with this injury, I think.
Who are they? Do you know?
Well, no. There's only one, and it's yeah, it was Nick Mullins.
Nick Mullins had this?
Yeah.
I thought Nick Mullins was going to be the real deal. I really did. He came in against us, and I was like, that freaking guy, he is good. I thought Nick Mullins was going to be like the next Joe Montana. I really did.
Because he's confident.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Notice. People who are confident do well in this scheme.
Yeah, I think.
And it's because it's all about timing. It's all about timing. The windows are there, but you got to hit them. So people who are confident are going to do well because they're not second guessing, aka taking longer. And when you take longer, you have another a window, but you've got to wait another 1.5 seconds. And by that time, you could have moved on to your other progression. Or if you keep locked onto that person, now the defense knows who you're trying to target. You know what I'm saying? And they can now do things. So sometimes, and most of the times it pays out. Like, it's hard. Usually like those crossers, you know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of what we make our money on is those crossers. Yeah. Those crossers are open right before the linebacker and right after the linebacker, and there's not much you can do.
And we took that away from you the first half of the playoff game. But when you don't have a pass rush, we didn't have a pass rush. Yeah. When we don't have a pass rush, you know, like you said, that second window comes open fast.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's almost a scary. When you don't have a pass rush, that's a scarier window for them to hit because it's way deeper down the field.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, what you got going on this week? Or this weekend, I guess. It's Thursday. I'm used to Wednesday. Sorry.
So this weekend is Father's Day, Sunday. So shout out to all the fathers.
Yeah.
I didn't know until Monday or Tuesday when my daughter called and my ex reminded me that Sunday was Father's Day. It's not. I just don't put much,
Yeah.
thought into my holidays. I guess you know what I mean. Like when they're mine, I don't care. Like I'll wish my ex a happy Mother's Day. You know what I mean? Like that's not a problem. But Father's Day. So my daughter, I think it was right before the Monday show. It was Monday, yeah. She calls me up and we're talking. And I was like, got 20 minutes, so I got to go do the show. And she goes, "You want to watch the Mario movie? Because I got the Mario movie." And I was like, "Oh, you know what I mean? I hate to say no, you know what I mean? But I got a show." So I was like, "Can we watch it on Sunday?" So on Sunday, I will be watching the Mario movie with my daughter Faith.
That sounds fun.
Oh, I'm excited.
That sounds real fun.
Ooh, I wonder if I can send some snacks or stuff to her house.
That would be crazy. That'd be
You know what I'm saying? Have some snacks show up.
Just DoorDash it to their address. But actually, yeah, that's not even crazy. That's not even a crazy thought anymore. You just do that.
I was thinking about getting some snacks and have Walmart deliver it.
Oh yeah, Walmart too. I don't live in an area where you can. I really only have Uber Eats out where I live. I don't get DoorDash, Instacart, anything like that. I'm surprised that Uber Eats comes out here. Sometimes they tell me it's too far. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll order it somewhere else.
Yeah, I had an issue when I lived in Granite Falls with that. They would be like, "Yeah, Uber's on their way," and then it was like 4 hours later, my food's still sitting there, right? And I'm like, "Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, what's going on with this?" "Well, we got nobody." "Okay, so why'd you take my money if you got nobody?" Well, can you go down and get it?" "Nope." Why would why am I trying to go through you if I can just go down and get it, bro? You know what I'm saying?
One of the douchiest thing I've done a long time. And I didn't even mean it to be like, I didn't even mean to do this. I Uber Eats, right? It takes a while. Like you said, you live in the middle of nowhere, so it takes some time for somebody to pick it up. I Uber Eats right before the biggest windstorm of the year happens. And the guy texts me. He's like, "Dude, there's so many trees down back here. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make it back home." I felt like he didn't even get to my house because there was trees down. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm just praying that there's no trees down on his way home," because I'd have felt like the biggest ass in the world.
Dude, I've been driving and watched trees go down right in front of me, bro. And like,
I haven't.
Oh, seriously, I'm sitting there driving, right? And like, I go, "That tree looks funny." As I'm driving, right? I'm like, "That tree looks funny," right? And it wasn't even like falling at that point, like to the point where you could see it. But I was like, "That tree looks funny," because I go down the road all the time. And it next thing you know, and I see it start to move. I hit the brakes in time. I'm like the first person in front of this thing, so I'm looking at it. And then a truck comes up the other way, another truck comes behind, and another car, this and that. Within 5 minutes, we had that thing out of the way. There's two other guys. We had a chain, another truck. You know what I mean? Like, it just, boom.
Yeah.
Took care of everything, cleaned up the road, and we all went on our happy, merry ways.
Yeah, it's faster. It's faster than calling somebody, that's for sure.
Totally. And it wasn't so big. And there was one of the guys had two chainsaws in the back of his truck.
Oh, that's perfect.
We were set. No matter what, we were set.
So you got Father's Day Sunday.
Yeah.
Can watch Mario. Get her some snacks.
We got the Friday night show.
Yeah. Well,
Friday night show.
Going in reverse this time.
Oh, okay.
Saturday. What you got going on Saturday?
Well, I'll probably be on Bryant Culp's show.
In the morning.
I'm guessing. Or watching. Saturday. I don't know. I might even do some painting.
Do it. It's good for the soul. And then Friday is Ryan's can't miss flagship show, which is the Friday night call-in show. Are you still calling it that? Or
right now it's the weekly NFL variety show.
Okay. Which, even if you're not a football fan, feel free to join because it is a riot. I might not be able to be there this Friday, but we've streamed for what, 8 hours one time?
Yeah. We only go for like 5 hours now. You kind of gotta,
which is kind of good.
Yeah, I think it's better.
Yeah, that was just a different night when we went 8 hours. I mean, that was,
we couldn't really shut it off there. Well, I remember it started to die down, and I was like, let's wrap it up. And then all of a sudden, like, went to 10.
Every time too, because I was about to fall asleep. I'm pretty sure most of us were about to fall asleep. I haven't stayed up that late in a long time. And it was as soon as we thought, okay, this thing's over, Beto comes on. And then as soon as we think this thing's about to stop and get over, somebody else comes on. And then somebody else does something crazy. And then
was that the night that Chardal came on?
Yep, it was. And then we got 9 wraps. I mean, that was honestly, when it comes to streaming, that was probably the best. I have only been streaming for what, 3 months now. So that was my best streaming night of my life. I don't think I've cut up laughing that much ever in a stream than that night. So that was awesome. Legendary.
Yeah.
But
anyways, let's remind the people, hey, from now on, for the foreseeable future, we will be doing the show each week on this day and this time on this channel. So it won't be rotating back to my channel next week. Make sure to find us here next week. 7 days.
Yeah. And also, we really appreciate everybody that's been in the chat, everybody that's just dropped in and watched, everybody that's liked it. So thank you all so much. And with that, I think we are out.